Spread Eagle VTS, that's all received, sir, thank you. The Anthem of the Seas just letting go now from 101 outward bound.
Ahoy, shipmates. Captain of the Anthem of the Seas runs a very tight ship. I would say that Anthem of the Seas departed almost to the second of her 5:30 departure time. Bit of a close-up view here.
VTS, Jenny Blue, Slim Town Quay.
Jenny Blue VTS, all received, sir, thank you.
A close-up view here, you get a good view of the name that's on the back of the ship, Anthem of the Seas. Looks much better when I drone it. It looks quite smart. It's at ground level. It's not actually very obvious. I was in Mayflower Park earlier, walking my little dog Rusty, and it wasn't that obvious. Some shipmates there with some wonderfully excellent rooms. I'm not sure of the layout of the ship, but I wonder if those rooms are double height rooms. It looks like it, doesn't it?
Maestro VTS, good afternoon. Maestro VTS, that's all copied, thank you, and confirmed 109 berth port side 2. Currently on the gauge at CalShot 4.03, and it's on the rise. He's got the bluefin just passing SO outward bound, and Anthem of the Seas just breaking away from 101.
It's a great berth for Anthem of the Seas to be leaving from, because we'll get to see her spin towards us. Gosh, there's I can see it's quite a few. There are passengers on board Anthem of the Seas. I seem to remember. Find out how many there were. 1,555 passengers and 1,359 crew. And of course one pilot. And she's off to Belfast. I'm sure it'll be a good trip, but I don't think the weather's going to be quite as nice as it was the other week. You could have fooled yourself into thinking you were in the Caribbean. It's a little wet and windier this week. Not as wet and windy as it has been. Friday was pretty stormy in port. Certainly looks rather smoky. That's giving you an indication of the wind though. Look at that, that's no wind at all. That smoke is just going straight up. Oh, right. Oh, I hadn't looked at the chat. Oh, well, the shipmates are on board. All clocking in just in time. Oh, with there, Nigel Greer. He's going to watch the Anthem of the Seas from Town Quay car park. Excellent, good location. If you're in Town Quay car park, you'll also be watching the Britannia leave shortly afterwards as well. It's a good place to be. No one's on the ride at the top, the big shot, I think it's called. I saw it up earlier. There were people on board in that little capsule having a view of Port Southampton. say, it's a nice day. We've just had a shower, so maybe that's why there's not quite so many people on the top deck. We did have about 30 minutes ago quite a heavy shower for 10 minutes or so. It's been raining on and off all day here in Southampton. The weather's quite mild. The sun has popped out a little tiny bit every now and again, but the rain has been a slight inconvenience. Oh, there, Roberts. Oh, Robert's got the information on the crew numbers and passengers. Like I say, it's 1,555 passengers and 1,359 crew. It is amazing how quickly the vessels can spin. Yeah, total passenger capacity of the Anthem of the Seas is very close to 5,000. So with only 1,500 on board, she's quite sparsely populated. I don't know what the maximum crew numbers are on board the Anthem of the Seas, but I would think that's probably nearing maximum crew numbers.
BTS, the Navios Spring.
Navios Spring, BTS, good afternoon.
Afternoon, we're on SCT3, sub side 2. Hopefully on the way 1800, out for Antwerp with 8.5 metres and 22 crew.
Navios Spring, BTS, that's all received, sir, thank you.
BTS, Red Jet 6, shortly away from Town Quay.
Richard 6 VTS, all copied, sir, thank you. Anthem of the Seas just running down to pier head now, outward bound. Got the shield forward just by dock head, inward bound, over.
All copied, Hanks.
I'll have a look at the shield hall, actually. I can have a quick whiz round to see if I can see the shield hall. She's an historical vessel that's in port. A steam-powered...
Yeah, BTS, the Anthem of the Seas.
Anthem of the Seas, BTS.
Yeah, that's us all swung and heading out now.
Anthem of the Seas, BTS, all received, sir, thank you. So we can see the shield hall there, just past dock heading. The Solent Ships is still pushing up onto SO number 5. And the Maestro now boarded a pilot. She's at Brown Down, should be North Channel inward bound.
Yeah, understood.
And you can see there, this is the shield hall vessel, which carries out pleasure trips around the Solent with various different combinations of sightseeing and so on. And so today it will be a great experience to be on the shield hall. They've probably got a band on there, got some snacks and so on. I think it's about 300 people capacity on the shield hall. But it's a great ship for seeing other ships in port. I recommend that for a day out.
Bluefin VTS all received, sir, thank you. Currently on the gauge at Calshot 4.06. Got the Maestro just past Brown Down, boys, should be North Channel inward bound.
I don't know where the shield hall has been today, actually. I've been busy doing other things. But there's a good chance she went down to Cowes Week. It's the start of Cowes Week this weekend. One of the biggest yachting festivals in the world takes place in Cowes, just over in the Isle of Wight. Lots of racing around the island, different formats and classes. Normally a big firework display as well at the end on the last night.
Armorique VTS.
but I think it's been cancelled.
Mavic VTS, all received, sir. Thank you. Good evening to you, and we'll speak to you later.
Ahoy there, Tracy Fern. Sorry, I think I've got blurry vision this afternoon. It looks to me like there's a few more shipmates on the top deck now, probably sheltering indoors, sheltering in their cabins. Ahoy there, Mark the Shark from Miami, Florida. Excellent. Welcome aboard, shipmate. Ahoy there, Mad Stock. And ahoy there, 1234. That's a black screen. Is it? Oh, there we go. It's a view from our ferry camp. Red Funnel's been very busy today. So, people sailing over to the Isle of Wight probably to start a week's holiday. Because there are a fair amount of people going over for Cowes Week. Look along the top again, see if we can see any waivers. Had our first sign yesterday, had a banner on one of the cruise ships that left. Said ahoy there. One of our subscribers, most excellent. I'll see if I can find a picture of it and show you in a while. Can't see anyone waving today. Doesn't look quite as busy, I guess, because not as many passengers as it's totally full.
87 for the job, Andy. Hello, Mick. Mark, sorry.
Like I say, it's only really about a third full. Yeah, but there's a few passing. A few shipmates there up on the decks.
Thanks, Mark.
Looking very smart. Picked it up livery.
Small and steamy.
Well, I hope you got that. There was some definite hooting there. It's very quiet. I'm not sure if there's no wind out there, but surprising by a very low tone. So I heard it with my headphones on. I'm not sure if you guys heard that. If your shipmates could hear that. Oh, ahoy there, Tracy. Oh, ahoy there, Chris Howard. Well, thanks, shipmate, for your kind donation. Absolutely superb. And the sun has come out, so perhaps your English cruise to Belfast won't be quite so damp and miserable. And if you were out on, like I say, on the Shield Hall, you'd be having a superb view. There's Shield Hall just coming past the Anthem of the Seas. So if you really are interested, have a quick Google of the Shield Hall's website, and got all sorts of day trips available. Just the ticket if you want to be out on the water and watch some activity. We'll have Britannia departing shortly as well. Britannia is just over here. I can't see any action as yet. I haven't heard the radio, but she's due to depart at 6 o'clock. Pretty much once the Anthem of the Seas has gone past, she'll probably start singling up, ready to leave. The other camera round. Yet. Oh, ahoy there, Peter Kerr, who is in hospital where he has a lovely new hip. Oh. I hope all is going well for you, Peter, and a swift and speedy recovery. Great way to relieve the pain with a bit of Solent Ships YouTube channel. So, congratulations there. Good choice. Ahoy there, Paul Dobson. He's got clients on one of those. I disappeared on one of those ships. Would have thought perhaps you might have been seeing someone on the ride. Apparently not. The big shots. Oh, ahoy there, Paul Johnson. Ah, Paul Johnson's coming in with some very pertinent information.
VTS Britannia, good afternoon.
Britannia VTS, good afternoon.
VTS Britannia.
Britannia VTS.
Yeah, afternoon. Be away from 46 in about 10 minutes. Draft 8.57. And for a cruise. And back here. I'll give you some numbers when we get going.
Britannia VTS, that's all received, sir. Thank you.
Well, it sounds like Britannia is going to leave on time as well. This is a relief. The other day, there were supposed to be ships leaving on the hour, and it's due to the high wind, it all went a bit wrong and everything was late. Rather annoying when I'm trying to...
BTS, Navios Spring.
Navios Spring VTS.
We're just going to stations here now on SCT3.
Navios Spring VTS, all received, sir. Thank you. Britannia's just called in, hoping to get away approximately 1800.
Okay, what about the Shield Hall? Is he coming back up to 110?
Navios Spring VTS, that's correct, yeah. She's just past Pier Head, back up for 110.
Okay, thank you.
It's a commercial container ship from the far end of the port, just negotiating time to leave. No, Paul Dobson said that the cabins I showed, that I thought were double height, are indeed double height. Sorry, I'm just trying to find his message. Where did it go?
Britannia.
Britannia VTS.
Yeah, so it's 3242 plus 1.
Britannia VTS, that's all copy 3242 plus 1. All received, thank you.
There we go, that's the numbers for the Britannia. So yes, so Paul Dobson here says they are called the Royal Loft Suites. They are double height. Be quite spectacular with my conversion.
Iona VTS, good afternoon.
So that'll be these ones here, just above where it says Anthem of the Seas. You can clearly see their double height, really. Like balcony. Oh, someone's waving.
Iona VTS, that's all received, sir. Thank you. And just to confirm a pilot boarding time for yourself of 1900, 1900 hours. Pilot boarding station at Charlie to the west of the nav tower. If you can maintain a good listening watch now, sir, channels 12 and 09. The pilot launch will call you on 09, over.
And you've even got a lovely setting sun to accompany their departure.
Iona VTS, that's correct, yeah, she's also boarding 1900, also to the west of the tower at Charlie, over.
I think they were waving to passengers on.
That's correct, sir, that's correct. And as stated by the pilot desk, they will be number 1 and you will be number 2, over. Iona VTS, as it stands at the moment, sir, we've got Anthem of the Seas just past Dockhead, outward bound. Britannia shortly going to stations on a 46 outward bound, and the Navios Spring away from the container port outward bound, over. Iona VTS, currently, sir, it's northwesterly with light airs. We've just got 2 to 3 knots, over.
ETS, Anthem of the Seas at the west. Outbound.
Anthem of the Seas VTS, all received, sir, thank you.
Yeah, so those loft cabins on the stern look mighty impressive. I imagine you get a fair bit of space in those as well. Thank you for that, Paul Dobson. Oh, boy there, Joshua Draper. Your wife is at the back on the top deck. Sorry, I must have missed that. Sometimes I'm a little slow in catching up with the chat. Anthem of the Sea's just going to disappear past the dockhead. We won't be able to see her anymore once she's behind Britannia, but in the meantime we can check on Britannia. She's just about to leave in, the pilot was saying, 7 minutes. Reasonably prompt there as well. It's most satisfying that they're promptly leaving today rather than the previous day when they were all late. Mike the Shark from Miami is enjoying the content. Ray, thank you, shipmate. I missed focusing in on someone's wife. My apologies for that. I was a little slow in the chat. I need someone to help me. I need someone to read the chat while I'm operating the cameras. It's quite a challenge to operate 3 cameras and do them and everything else while the chat's coming in. It does take me a little while to catch up. There is Britannia, shortly to depart in, like, say, 6 minutes. Yeah. Oh, Michelle Mottram, Ahoy the Shipmate, waved from the top deck on the 20th, but I don't think you filmed that day. Possibly not, Shipmate. I can't necessarily film every day. I do have sometimes other commitments to make. Not always possible. And ahoy there, Jennifer Gale says she went on Anthem of the Seas a few years ago. Lovely ship. Ahoy there, Sandra Wright, saying that still very smoky. I think that's a side effect of the scrubbing technology that's supposed to get rid of various chemicals and sulfur dioxide or something. It ends up making the emissions look very yellowy and not very attractive. But from what I read, that's what it's supposed to do. So, even though it's better for the air, it just looks horrible, doesn't it? It looks awful.
But yes, Red Eagle, okay, cover the traffic.
Red Eagle VTS all received, sir. Thank you.
Ahoy there, Merly. She also says, oh, he looks very brown. Paul Dobson coming with more useful information. Says he's been on Shield Hall a few times, and you can even go into the engine room and everywhere. Yes, it's true. It's an exhibition ship, so yeah, you can go out into the engine room. You can see all the polished bits of brass whizzing around. It's definitely worth a trip. And like I say, if you get your timings right, you'll be able to do a bit of ship spotting at the same time. Unfortunately, we can't.
Yes. Golden Horizon.
Golden Horizon, good evening.
Yeah, evening, in the Coast Triangle, with a draft of 673. 212 plus one on board, vessel is bound for Town Quay. And we will be departing as soon as the Anthem is cleared to DC.
Golden Horizon VTS, that's all received, thank you. Yeah, Anthem's at Northwest Netley. And, yeah, sorry, can I have a breakdown of the crew and passengers?
DTS, standby.
The Golden Horizon is a marvellous cruise ship. I made a video, a little film of her the other week. So if you haven't seen it, have a quick look on YouTube for it.
DTS, Golden Horizon.
Golden Horizon VTS.
Yeah, crew 148, passengers 64.
And all received, thank you.
Wow, 64 passengers. That's going to be expensive. Yeah, she's a 5-masted sailing ship. Really looks incredibly spectacular. I've not, unfortunately, seen her up with the sails yet, but I have seen her in just off of Cowes, which is where she is at the moment. She's been to and from. She's travelling, I think she was travelling up to Harwich and then back down to Cowes and then down to Cornwall, back again. And then she moves off to the Mediterranean or somewhere else. The objective is that she travels under sails for the majority of time. 70% of her journey is supposed to be under sails, so she travels round the globe with the trade winds and in a very environmental fashion. See some of the lines coming in now from Britannia there. That was what I was going to say. I can't see much of the stern. We've got the Queen Mary 2 just behind that.
VTS, Princess Caroline. Good afternoon again.
Princess Caroline VTS, good afternoon.
Yeah, the position please. We'd like to get underway from the Town Quay, back up to Southampton Wharf, and that's 5 crew aboard.
That's all received. Britannia just beginning to single up now on the ocean dock.
Yeah, copy on that. We'll keep an eye, but hopefully the bit past before she's underway. Over.
All received, thank you.
Just like that, the Anthem of the Seas pops out from behind Britannia. You can see the Britannia is now singling up, so you're taking in most of the lines, just leaving a single line at each end and maybe one middle. Thus ready very nearly for a departure. It looks like Anthem of the Seas has found a little pocket of sun down there. So if you happen to be out there on the stern, where someone was, wasn't they? They said, where were they? Their wife was on the stern or something. Probably a bit far away now. The visibility's not so good. There's been some dramatic weather. Some clouds, dramatic clouds in port. The odd bit of rain.
Greenless West VTS, good evening again. Greenless West VTS, all received, thank you. No immediate traffic, and if you could call me when your anchor is away, please.
Looks like we've only got a couple of lines left, so I imagine she'd shortly be departing. It looks very dark and stormy over there over the Isle of Wight, doesn't it? Hopefully it'll be smooth sailing all the way to Belfast. Ahoy there, Big Daddy from West Virginia. I'm just going to whiz to the end of the chat here. I'll work backwards if that makes sense.
Ragnar, VTS, good evening. Ragnar, VTS, all received, thank you. No immediate traffic. Your pilots will be coming to you from an outward-bound cruise ship, Golden Horizon. It's a sail cruise ship, and that will be departing Cowsway shortly and out to the west. Thank you. Please call me again passing Yarmouth. Ragnar VTS, yes, can confirm we have received it. Thank you.
I want you to turn off the radio now, because I think we know what's going on. Let me just turn the radio off. I'll turn it back on later.
VTS, the Red Osprey, just leaving Morpia.
Red Osprey VTS, thank you. Inward bound to the Maestro at the Calshot Cardinal. Britannia, just let go the last line, so should be backing out from the ocean dock. And dockhead 4.10.
Copy, thank you.
Yes, so there we go. As I don't even need to tell you what's going on, do I? Because the nice man at the VTS was told you, as you can just see there, the last line's going in, so she'll be shortly on the move. Terence Stamp, Ahoy the Shipmate, if my maths is right, I think Britannia has almost a full crew on board. It would sound like it, I would think. Britannia has a total of 3,242 on board. I'm not sure if that's crew or a combination of crew and passengers. Normally they break it down. +1. I see someone asks what the +1 is. Who is that? David Eddy, Ahoy there, Shipmate. +1. +1 is the pilot. All ships that enter and arrive, leave and depart and arrive, I should say. Confused. Depart and arrive, Port Southampton are required to have a pilot. And that is for commercial ships above a certain size. I think it's 60 metres. Anything more than 60 metres requires a pilot. Definitely see Britannia moving. There's a couple of chaps there in the well deck, just taking in the last lines. Let's have a look, see who else is on board. A couple of shipmates there, sipping champagne in the sun. Now, they've got a break there. Looking very bright, isn't Britannia, in this little puddle of sun we've got. Ahoy there, Mac Cat Lady. Indeed I am well, Shipmate. I hope you are too. Ahoy there, Harold HCD says some of his family went on Britannia last week. Had a really good time. I'd recommend it if you want a short 4-day cruise. I definitely think it's something that's unique, because I'm not sure how often the cruise ships will be cruising around the UK for. So it's not something you can often do. So certainly if you've never been cruising, I've never been on a short cruise around the UK, but it seemed quite attractive to me. And ahoy there, Silla Wild, who is looking forward to Thursday on Britannia. Now with Gary Olofsson, 64 passengers, a fantastic cruise. Yes, that would be something I'd be keen to get on board, would be the Golden Horizon. Just had a small dog enter my cabin, and he's departing with some rubbish from the bin. There we go, he'll be very happy with that. There were some blast of the horn just then to indicate that Britannia was moving. And we could just see her coming out. Bursting out from behind the old Customs House building. Right, I've rescued the rubbish from Rusty. I did see a question about, someone said about cameras. Yeah, I've got a couple of new cameras coming. It's just a slow process to sort out the installation. Had quite a few problems with the network. I think got someone waving here. I had a couple of problems with the networking to try and get the internet to the camera to work. Oh yeah, there's some proper shipmates there. Hey, yeah, looks like they're having a great time. Looks like they've got a nice chilled glass of champagne there. Sun in their face. What more could you want? I'm very jealous of you, shipmates. It looks like they're having a great time. Yeah, so yes, I've got a couple of new cameras coming. It takes a little time. Takes time. Everything seems to take time these days. Ahoy there, Alan Hussey. What is the clanging noise on my feet? That would be the rigging of the yacht on the sails. They chink away. If you look here, yeah, you can see all those rigging lines. They just gently chink against the yacht masts, and that's what you can hear. Let's see if there's any other shipmates on deck. there's certainly quite a few out on their balconies, certainly enjoying a nice ride. Ah, there's someone else waving. No banners. We had a banner yesterday, which was quite impressive. There is actually quite a delay between the being on the camera and actually seeing it on YouTube. So if they are looking for... They might well be waving to friends on Town Quay. Oh, there they are. More champagne sipping going on by the looks of it. Wonderful. Yeah, I seem to be lucky. Got a little puddle of sun here because it's quite dark in the distance. Some black clouds over there. I think people might be heading into rain. Well, the mist storms. I did see someone say that they were some storms when they came back in the other day. Like someone waving their jumper. Yep, Ahoy there. I just did get Gary. Yes, I think you're right. I think someone was watching the channel to be dancing around. Shipmate Merly says that they're a bit jealous of them right now, looking like they're having a great time. I think you're right. They do look like they're having a great time. It's quite pleasant out there, temperature-wise. Not too cold. So they probably are enjoying the sun. The water is calm. There's no wind. Yeah, it could be a good 4 days. They'll be able to see the golden horizon as they get near Cowshot down towards the Isle of Wight. That'll be a nice sight for them. There should be lots of yachts out and about as well today. So that'll be good. Oh, this is probably the busiest I've seen a ship on the balcony side. I don't think we've seen so many shipmates on balconies for a long time. Someone enthusiastically waving there. Look what they've got. They've got some big foam hands or something. Yep, they're definitely waving something. Ahoy there, shipmate. Yes, next Saturday is the Iona's maiden departure. I think that's going to be around about 9 o'clock, so I should be covering that. It's quite late, actually, if that is the actual departure time. It's still to be announced on whenever I've looked on the schedules, but I've read that some people said it's departing at 9 o'clock. So I'll have to keep an eye out for that, but definitely covering the departure of Iona. She leaves actually tomorrow for a test cruise. I see there was very few lucky shipmates out there who have been on a test cruise or going on the test cruise. I don't know what you have to do to go on a test cruise. I guess you have to know someone or something, or be a frequent cruiser perhaps. I think Britannia's picking an ideal time to depart. It's very picturesque. Ahoy there, Christopher Matthews. Passengers seem to be looking at their phones. I assume they're watching the channel. It has crossed my mind. Definitely some people are. You can tell that some people are. Ahoy there, David Rowland. When does the Anthem leave? The Anthem left about 45 minutes ago. I'm afraid you've missed her, but we probably get a view of her again as she goes down Southampton Water. I'll just follow the Britannia for the moment. You see, there's still a lot of people outside. More frenetic waving. Remember somebody saying they were near a lifeboat. It must be these people, perhaps. Or, of course, they could be waving to people on Town Quay. Ahoy there, Victor Tilson. Test cruises are usually employees and travel agents, typically called a shakedown cruise before entering service. Yes, see, you have to be in the know, don't you? I think a shakedown cruise Iona would be a great experience. Obviously, a brand new, massive ship. So much to see and do on board. Britannia's just firing up the bow thrusters here to give a little bit of a spin round. Should be heading down Southampton Water. Oh, ahoy there, Leah Finlayson. Many thanks for your kind donation. All donations received on the channel do go towards buying new equipment and generating some new content. There are some great clouds today, aren't they? Ahoy there, Jim from Evans in Georgia. And ahoy there, Carlis 360. How many people on Britannia? I think it was 3,500. That was crew and passengers. We didn't get a breakdown of the figure. And David Rowan says, cruising is the best feeling ever. The little boat that you can see heading towards the Britannia is the ferry from Hythe. That wanders between Hythe and Southampton. Also an excellent place to do a bit of ship spotting. If you get your timings right, you can be on the Hythe ferry as a cruise ship is coming and going. You get really up close and personal to them. Even if they're not going, but they happen to be berthed at Ocean Terminal or Queen Elizabeth II Terminal, the Hythe ferry gets you really close. And what better way to do a bit of ship spotting than from the water? Oh, with there, David Balfi says, I have a radio voice. Some would say I have a face for radio as well. Oh, ahoy there, shipmate Daniel San. Many thanks for your kind donation. Absolutely wonderful. It's very pleasing. I'm going through a bit of a growing phase with the channel at the moment. Busy working on the website and shop and merchandise and all these other things. It's coming together. I was hoping to have the website live today, but I realised that I couldn't do something. So it'll probably go live tomorrow, and we'll start populating more and more merchandise as we go. I was just designing up a tea towel this afternoon. Solent Ships tea towel. So a couple of people have mentioned tea towels, and I thought, okay, I'll have a look on there. So I have a tea towel coming. I'm doing some framed pictures, some photographic prints, and there will be some clothing merchandise as well. Had a sample right back of the t-shirt, which seems pretty good. I've got some polo shirts, hoodies with zips and without zips. Actually, they're quite good, the hoodies. I'm going to get myself. Oh, ahoy there, shipmate Alan Hussey. Many thanks for your kind donation. This is just wonderful. It really does help support the channel. Helps buy new equipment and pay for all sorts of things. Networking cables and Wi-Fi adapters and such like. Of course, another excellent location for watching a cruise ship is on the Red Funnel ferry to the Isle of Wight. Again, get your timings right on that, and you'll be seeing people on the cruise ships as you come up and down. Or the Daniel San, yes, ask memberships. I just need to make 2 videos before I can activate the membership features, and every time I seem to have a free sort of couple of hours in my schedule to go and film the video, it's not very good weather. It's wet and raining, so it's been tricky to try and coordinate weather and my availability. But next week is looking better, so it is coming. I'm with a full-time job. I only have so many hours in the day that I can sort of donate to all these things, and sometimes the dog needs a good old walk, and he's a little less patient, should I say, than some other people. In fact, he has no patience at all. He just barks at me. I'm hoping they're having some rum-based cocktails there on the stern of the Britannia. There is some quality honking going on. Well, I don't have a microphone working on this camera, unfortunately. I think the wind and rain got to it. There could be a bit of cross-hooting, I imagine, with the Queen Mary 2. I've noticed that the lines, cruise ships of the same lines, tend to hoot and honk a lot to each other, but if they're from competing lines, then not quite so friendly. Ahoy the Lisa W. Hopefully you have merchandise and server for your cruise next May. Yes, of course, absolutely, just next week. And ahoy there, Von Wolf. Welcome aboard, shipmates. Many thanks for subscribing. It's easy to do, just click that red button. I've been looking at my analytics, and I realise a lot of you shipmates watch from your smart TVs, which I can't think of anywhere better to watch from, really. Sounds ideal to me, sat there with your big screen up, enjoying the content. Now, I'm not sure how to on your smart TV, but on a computer there's a red button that you can click with your mouse or on your tablet. But on a smart TV, I think it might involve a little bit of navigating with the cursor. If you go up, you can subscribe, I believe, on a smart TV. So if you could, it would be helpful. I really appreciate that. It'll just spread the word a bit more. Ahoy there, Andy Carter. He says, how can we hear the ship's horn? Well, we did have microphones on these cameras, but they appear to have stopped working. I think it's the wind and rain that's been constantly driving into them. There is a microphone on ferry cam, and that works. But I think I need to set up a different microphone. It's not so. At the moment, if I want to hear something, I have to flick back here to ferry cam, and the ferry cam has to wake up. It's not a very satisfactory experience. So I will have to sort that out, but with your kind donations, that should allow me to invest in some sort of outdoor microphone. Probably want something with a parabolic reflector on it, so we can home the sound in and not pick up so much environmental sound. Yeah, it's always something to do. There we go. We get Britannia just cruising past the bow of Queen Mary 2. Lewis Finch, 9 PM departure for Verona seems late. That's what I thought as well. I'm not suggesting that information is correct. I've just saw a few people mention it. It could be down to the embarkation process with people having to COVID test and so on. That might be slowing things up. So perhaps they'll leave earlier if they get things sorted. Maybe it just gives them a bit of a window of opportunity. Oh, there, Charlie Mason says he subscribed through the phone and then watched it on the smart TV. Excellent, yes. I was just happened to be speaking to someone the other day and they didn't realise you had subscribed. Oh, ahoy there, shipmate Phil Body. Many thanks for your kind donation. Donations are greatly appreciated and will further benefit the channel. Yes, what was I going to say? Oh, yes, the shipmate I bumped into enjoys watching the content, watches the live streams and watches the videos. He didn't realise that you could subscribe to the channel. Didn't because and I asked him why he just didn't click the red button, just out of curiosity. I wasn't trying to badger him. Not really, I wasn't. And he said he watched it on his smart TV and he wasn't aware of how to do it. So I had a look on my smart TV actually to see how it would work. And he's right, it's not desperately easy. Ahoy there, Merly. It's just that describing on a smart TV, press the up on the controller button and then with the 3 dots on YouTube play button to subscribe. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty good information. On my television at home, it's an up button. I'm not sure what it's like for all televisions, so I can't give you a full tutorial on how to, but yeah, up button. The chimney you can see in the background there on the left hand side of the screen is the Fawley power station chimney, and that's part of Fawley power station, which I droned the other day and which blew up. Well, it was demolished, it didn't blow up. And the chimney is due to be demolished later in the year, but I'm not sure when. have a look. We may be able to see Anthem of the Seas. Not sure if she's still in Southampton water or if she's... Let's have a look, shall we? She's still in Southampton water. Yeah. Behind the... Is she behind the crane? No. Oh, she must have already turned around Cowshot Spit. But as you can see, there's quite a few yachts out for Cows Week. Just Britannia's disappearing behind a row. Well, I shall carry on following her, shipmates, but I shall knock off the commentary for now. So many thanks to you all for subscribing. If you were how to do it, if not, don't worry too much. Next time. Many thanks to all the donations I had. It's fantastic. And of course, thank you to all my PayPal donors and Patreons. And of course, most of all, many thanks to the Blue Spanner crew for looking after the chat when I'm distracted operating the cameras. Until next time, shipmates. I just thought I'd quickly show you the banner from a Shipmates earlier on, I think it was Friday. It says Ahoy there. They were busy waving. I thought that was pretty good. First banner on a ship for the channel. Until next time, Shipmates.